watching UNO with Dr. Ambrish Saxena.
Hello students, today is Monday 30th of September 2019. Today we will try to unfold two more stories, one national and one international. Firstly, to talk about news from the domestic front. The Chief Minister of Sikkim, Prem Singh Tamang, was under disqualification by the Election Commission of India, and on his request that has been waived off by the Election Commission. So, what were the reasons why he was disqualified and under what circumstances the Election Commission has done it? If we refer to the Indian legal system, if a politician is convicted of more than 2 years, then he or she amounts disqualification under the Representation of People's Act 1951. And you would remember the case of Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister Jayalalitha, that she had to quit because of her disqualification under the Representation of People's Act. So, regarding Prem Singh Tamang case, he was earlier a member of the Sikkim Democratic Front. Sikkim Democratic Front ruled Sikkim for almost 25 years. The Chief Minister Pawan Kumar Changling had 5 consecutive terms. The present Chief Minister Prem Singh was a minister. So, what happened in 1996-97? He was a minister of animal husbandry, and he was accused of involved in the misappropriation of funds in a cow distribution scheme. So, the trial happened in that case. Finally, he was convicted and he was sent to jail on 10th of August 2017. Now, when elections happened in this year 2019 in Sikkim in the month of April, Sikkim Krantikari Morcha won the election, and the newly elected MLAs of the Sikkim Krantikari Morcha, they elected Prem Singh Tamang as their leader. So, the governor invited him to become the chief minister. Mind it, he was serving a jail term because of his conviction in a corruption case. In August, he was released from the jail, but meanwhile, Election Commission of India disqualified him for 6 years. This means till 10th of August 2024, he was not able to contest the election. So, he made a request to the Election Commission that his conviction is of less than 2 years. So, the 6 years disqualification should not happen. The Election Commission has accepted his request, and his disqualification has been reduced from 6 years to 1 year 1 month, which means that he can now contest election of the assembly. Minded, when he was made the chief minister, that time he had not contested the election. He is not a member of the legislative assembly, and as per Indian constitution, if anybody becomes a chief minister or becomes a prime minister and he or she is not a member of the house, of the lower house, then he or she is allowed to contest election within 6 months. So, the reduction of the disqualification period by the Election Commission has given the Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang an opportunity to contest election within 6 months' time. Talking about another story from the international front, last week when the session of the United Nations General Assembly was happening in the US, a meeting happened in New York of 4 countries, that is US, Australia, Japan and India. So, this was called a group of Quad. Quad means the group of quadrilateral countries, the 4 countries. Now, what this whole group is about? In fact, this group was founded in the year 2007 on an idea mooted by the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. But not much happened since that time, till the time the US entangled with China in a trade war. Then US also started to pushing this group in 2017, and that is how the things moved, but India was never too interested in this. But then initially whenever the meetings were taking place, India was sending the junior level officers. Last week India sent its foreign minister to join in this meeting, which shows a shift in the stand of India. Why this kind of shift is seen? So there are two factors which we have to look into: India's relations with the US, India's relations with China. India has entered into an agreement with the US which is called Communications Compatibility Security Agreement. This happened only last year. This shows that India is now to cooperate and coordinate as far as the security issues are concerned, or military issues or the diplomatic issues are concerned. Meanwhile, on the front of China, India had the Doklam thing, wherein India has a tussle with China. Doklam is a place between India, China and Bhutan. So the China was building the road which was opposed by India, and that is how a lot of confrontation happened on the borders. That was finally eased out, and then Indian Prime Minister decided last year to visit Yuan in China to have a summit with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. India further entered into a kind of uncomfortable position with China on the issue of Masood Azhar. China took a side with Masood Azhar, so that is how no sanctions were being imposed on him by the Security Council. US built a lot of pressure on China. China finally withdrew its objections, and then that is how the sanction was imposed on Masood Azhar. But still India is not too inclined to come directly in opposition to China, and that is also reflected in the last year's meeting of Shangri-La Dialogue, which happened in Singapore. This Shangri-La Dialogue is a group of 50 countries which meet every year to deliberate on the issues of the mutual concern. So this is the take of India, that it does not want to be seen in any front which is in directly opposition to China. On the other hand, US is always interested to bring India closer to it, and if not directly and indirectly, so the US want to bring this Indo-Pacific security dialogue like that of NATO, which is an organization of North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It is a group of 29 countries which came into existence in 1949, and it is basically a military organization, and US always use NATO as a cover up, whether it's the action in Iraq is concerned or Syria is concerned, but India is not much interested into it. But then somehow India has come closer to the US, and the latest example of that we can find in the Malabar exercise which happened between the Indian military and the US military. And finally, one statement that has recently been given by Japanese Prime Minister, that China is a bigger threat to the world as compared to North Korea. So let us all should concentrate that this does not reach at a stage wherein the whole world comes into some kind of problem. So that is all in today's edition.